Yeah.
So is a wavetable always the same sound length?
No, that's the thing. Yeah, not the original. I put this here in the code also. The original table in the plates module only has 128 samples per cycle of the sound file. So if you would draw one sine wave, then it has 128 points to draw it, which is okay, but is a very limited resolution. It's very tiny. And so for the tables that I use here, I use 2048 samples for one cycle. So it's higher. Yes, yeah. So it's a higher resolution, and then the bit depth is like quantization of the amplitude level. But 16-bit is already fine. But yeah, the higher resolution maybe the better. Although at some point there's no need to go even further. So 2048 is a reasonable size. But some specific types of software or some types of hardware have pre-coded or like hard-coded what kind of length the table needs to be. So if you put in a different length of the table, then you will only read like half of the waveform, for instance. If it expects 512 and you put in 1024, then well, you're going to hear the difference, yeah, at least. So it's good to know beforehand what kind of length you need, so you can adjust it. And if you build your own, then you can choose whatever you want, of course. So yeah, so this is kind of what I wanted to show. I mean, so this is just a work in progress. I have it in Mercury, but this where was it? This is on GitHub or Codeberg actually as a separate repository. So if you just want wavetables, feel free to get the link. I can put it a bit bigger. Or ask me later and I will give it to you. That's also fine.
In Super Collider, you have something similar.
Mm-hmm.
They store the wavetables in a file with a wavetable format. I'm not sure what that format is, but it could be the same. But what they do there is that you have from 0 to 1. You select the wavetable that you want from the file, and if you are at 0.122 some decimals, then you are in the middle between two.
Yeah.
And they interpolate.
Yes, that's
what
I'm doing the same thing. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
So you don't go hard from one to the other, but it's interpolated.
No, exactly. Yeah, and this interpolation. If I would go like a hard switch between one and the other, then if I would make this in a sine. Let's maybe take one. It would sound more hard switches, and this is more smooth. You hear one fade in and the other one fade out. Yeah. So that will definitely help you to create this transition from one to the other. So yeah, you need to do an interpolation between two cycles when you're reading kind of in the middle. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Anyone else? Questions for Timo? Comments? No? I have a comment and a question. We had some problem with the stream today. We tried some challenging new setup, and so we started a little bit later with the stream. Maybe can you talk
my
again?
Screen or my
with your presentations. Was a little bit lost at the beginning.
Okay.
So if you can repeat maybe the event coming up where you're going to perform. Are you going to use some of this wavetable stuff that you presented today?
The plan is to use the wavetable synth for the bass synth in the performance, and maybe for some other sound design. But since we're already also playing with drums and guitar, we're not gonna overdo it with extra synthesis because it's gonna be too much. But the plan is to have some bass synth since Lina only plays guitar and no bass guitar, so then we use the synth for the rumble from down under. So the event. For the stream is the live coding sessions that's coming up on Thursday in the Doka in een Volkshotel aan de Wieboudstraat in Amsterdam, organized by Sabrina Saskia and Klasien from live coding sessions, and it's about live coding and live instruments. Yeah?
Thank you very much.
All right. You're welcome. All right.
Yes, Wouter? Yes.
Thank you, Zeb, and thank you, Timo.
You're welcome.
I was told by V2 that we have to keep it a little bit short and sweet because we tend to be a little bit on the late side. So I'm going to be really tight on schedule from now on because we had some hiccups with the stream. Thanks, Nikki, for pointing that out to us. And I'm going to hand over now to Johan or to Arshak. Yeah. All right. Let's start with the adapter and the HDMI. Wait, you need an adapter for that to USB-C. Okay. Shit. And now I'm stuck here talking because I can go fetch the thing, but maybe somebody else can, or maybe somebody can do the talking. Does anybody have any announcement related to live coding, maybe? No, it's just a live session this Thursday, I guess. Oh, wait.
Well, I will be playing with Rick next Friday in Achtertown. That's right? Yeah? Next week. Yeah. What's the date?
This Friday.
We will give you a date very soon. But also, of course, Timo is playing on the 11th. Anyone else? Dan, you have? No? The 12th. So the 12th I'm playing with Rick. Nikki, you have any performances coming up? Okay, she's going to think. We'll get back to this agenda at a later moment. Rick, you wanted to say something?
Yeah. So also we did the microdosing AI of V2 with Nikki, Ben, and Seb, and this installation is also presented Friday, 12th.
We're almost ready. I'm closing this.
Yeah, this is my screen. Okay. I'm not sure how to put it. Doesn't go under angle, does it? Make. Okay. Maybe I will lean it further towards this thing. Well, today we are going to talk about the evolution of decoration editors in the drawing app I am making, because they have come to an interesting point that I think, I'm happy with the direction it's going, and it is not something I see often in drawing apps and such. So we will see what it is exactly and how the decoration editors evolved. What is the decoration in the app? As you can see, there is some letters, and they are filled with emojis. And the method through which any shape in the app gets filled with emojis is the decoration. So in this case, we have a pretty boring one. It just says some letter. Wait! I have some breakpoints. Let's not debug anything. So you can fill the shapes with different things. You can fill it with a grid, for example, or you can fill it with some spiral, and there's a bunch of properties to edit. So there's quite some stuff. Right now it is on the canvas. As you can see, I can move around in the canvas, and my decoration editor remains attached to the layer I have selected. And this is the case for when I also select multiple layers. So here I have selected 3 of these layers, and if I open these editors, I can edit each one of them. For example, if I change this flower to something else, this part of the word decoration is going to look different. It's going to look like some of these emojis. Okay, let's keep it at the soup one, I guess, because it is a soup, as we can see in the name of the app. But it did not start like this. And today I would like to show you all the collected footage of how it has evolved from the start. So this is one of the very first things I've recorded from the app. I was recording a weird glitch I found where, because of some implementation details, when you just tap the pointer on multiple places, it plants the seeds. And once you start dragging, this happens. It all just starts, I don't know, growing or being drawn to the pointer. And so you can control these different nodes that you have planted. But the decoration editor we already saw, it was right here. This was it. Back then you could just edit the symbols. Maybe it's not super clear due to the contrast, but it was just a text field. You could edit the symbols, and you could tap use this brush, and whatever you drew would be with that brush. So this was, one of the early decoration editors. And then we went to having them visualized like this on the very bottom. So here you can see there's a bunch of shapes that have weird emojis, and back then you could mix multiple emojis to draw one shape. And so I visualized it just like with the text, which is not very representative of what you get to see, but it helped me back then to navigate it. And these were all the layers that are in a drawing. It was just trash can icons, so you could delete them. There was no other way to delete them. And from there, we went to having the decoration editor always visible on the canvas. We got some more tools, like you could draw circles. This you could do always, but you could now draw with a pen tool and have this text. This is Armenian letters, so you might not understand anything, but this is how it looked like. It was just on the top right. You could add more emojis, and you would have multiple emojis filling the same shape. From there on, we went to a bit of a fancier setup where, for example, you can see there's a bunch of numbers. These are the density parameters. So the density controls how, like for any given pass, how many emojis it needs to fill them. For example, here you can see they are like sort of arranged on top of each other. This is because they had higher density, and this axe especially is very dense. So from there on, it kept changing a bit. We got some new parameters. I added some new algorithms. So for example, you could now fill shapes with spirals like this. And you would pick the algorithm from this button, which also didn't represent what it actually is. It just said spiral, and you could drag, reorder your decorations through this thingy. And then, I guess, here we can see that the fill algorithms are now visualized. So if you pick the radial fill, it would actually show right here what it would look like when you draw something with it. And if you picked grid fill, it would also show. And we can see here, this is the result of the radial fill. It like goes in circles towards this point. And this is the grid. It's just a bunch of emojis added on top of each other. Then we had something in between a decoration editor and not a decoration editor. This was an experimental live coding environment with an emoji soup that would use the rendering system that it already had, and the Lua scripting language to change stuff like position in the real time, as we can see here. But I actually vibe coded this with AI, so I have since fully deleted this code because I didn't like it, and I don't have a live coding environment in Emoji Soup anymore. But one day maybe I will write it with my fingers, and we will be able to draw stuff not only with pointers and styluses, but also with code. Then the UI changed a bit. I as you can see, the background turned purple, and there's some more shadows used throughout the UI. I started experimenting already with showing some things next to the like the selected layer. You can also see the decoration preview here, but I didn't actually end up proceeding with it back then that much because I couldn't figure out how what to do for it to be usable and look nice. So I was using it through this top right panel. But then from there on, yeah, this is, I guess, something in between, because this is the emoji soup on the web. Because emoji soup is written in Flutter, it can run on many platforms, and the web is one of them. Of course, how it runs is different because, for example, you can see the emojis are not the same as on a Mac. These are like free emojis. The Mac ones are copyrighted by the corporation of Apple with the beaten Apple logo. But I'm showing this web thing because I guess it's also one new type of decoration editor. This is just a glitch that the visualizer was coming out of the box that was holding it. So I wanted to share that. And then we are approaching a bit where we are now. Here we can see there's some purple stuff on top of some cyan/blue stuff, which didn't really look very nice actually, but I was still using this to draw stuff. I guess the contrast there is even stronger, so it's even less visible. And this is one of the early prototypes of where we are now, which is the decoration editor rendering next to the what decoration it is editing in the first place, which is the selected layers. And this is the case now. If we draw something I don't know what, and we select this, we can see it here. We can change this astronaut to something else. If it if it doesn't disappear like that. So this is still work in progress. So you can see some bugs. But yeah, you can change the stuff right from the canvas. And I would also like to show some of the inspiration of, okay, how do you think of putting something like an interactive element on the canvas itself? There is this concept of zoomable user interfaces, which is sort of contradictory a bit to what the contemporary way of interfacing with our computing environments is, which is through the metaphor of the desktop. People literally at Xerox Labs sat at their desks, and they looked at them, this like a wooden or I don't know what industrial desks, and they were like, okay, we are gonna spread this to the world, so we need to make it so that people understand this whole computer thing, so we will design it approximately like people already have their desktops. We will put files in there and folders, and we will organize them in hierarchies. But it didn't have to be this way. Right now, we are just living through the consequences of these choices because people just kept using this paradigm because that's what we were all familiar with. However, we have also seen some new developments in like augmented reality, maybe where people try to put interfaces on on top of stuff that you can see in the physical life or something like that. But I will now show you some of this cool zoomable UI stuff that I was mentioning. One of these things is Eagle Mode. Eagle Mode is a software that self-proclaims as the most advanced zoomable user interface, which in a way might be true in what it lets you to do because it has a bunch of stuff. When you open it, it's like it's like a desktop environment, I guess, where you navigate your files, for example, in this large zoomable UI, and you can zoom into this Java 7 OpenJDK folder and see there's some more folders, and it's like infinite zoom like that. I have a video for you somewhere here as well to see a bit of eagle mode. If you have a Linux machine, I totally recommend installing it and playing around. I had plenty of fun with it because it's just really, it has a lot of stuff going on. This is navigating the files. Soon we will maybe see some games in this eagle mode thing. This is how you can read a text file. You just zoom into it, and it makes sense, because why would you need to open it and see it at like some fixed font size? You can even see the binary files. It was showing what is inside the binary. You can zoom into it. This is how it looks like if you zoom out quite a lot. It has different sections. In the middle there is the file manager, there is a world clock, and yeah, you can zoom in on stars and you will get some pretty cool fractals. Yeah, here it's just getting more and more, I don't know. Yeah, exactly. It's an alarm, apparently. Isn't it a great alarm? Yeah, and now they're zooming in on the world to see their world clocks. And if you think about how technically this is made, it's actually pretty fucking hard to do this. And at this performance, which we see here, it's like really smooth. It doesn't lag any bit. Yeah, this is some of the fractals. Wow. They were zooming into a video in there, and it was playing. This is, yeah, just fractal widgets. It's, of course, cannot render super infinitely due to computational restrictions of our machines. But it's quite far, and yeah, so this is one such thing. There are also some projects where people try to apply, try to resync this desktop metaphor, and they would try to make window managers and desktop environments which were zoomable, and you could arrange windows on a canvas and move on, like you had the infinite canvas. You can just group stuff however you want and navigate through them like that. And I'm gonna show you one last thing, which is a more modern, I guess, implementation of a zoomable canvas-like desktop environment, which is DriftVM. It was made in Rust, and it was actually vibe coded. So there's one benefit of having access to LLMs for everyone, I guess, that we have software like this. Yeah, so I saw all this stuff. I was thinking about, why are we editing code in fucking fixed height text editors, which are really not convenient, because the code isn't just this one file of 1,000 lines and that's it. It lives within interactions of the whole system, and yeah, and now we have floating decoration editors in Emoji Soup. So you can ask me questions now if you want about this or about any of this stuff. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, we have a question. One moment.
Hello, nice presentation. I like it. I have two questions. What is a definition of a decoration editor? That simple one. And then also I'm curious, how do you imagine maybe a spatial coding environment where you have maybe linked things together, or how you would imagine it for your way of writing code maybe?
Yeah, good question. Thanks. So the decoration editor is essentially this thing that we saw, where you edit the way that emojis feel a certain shape. This collection of rules about this feeling is called decoration in the system. Because the name is Emoji Soup and not something like, I don't know, emoji decoration, I am considering giving it a bit of a different metaphor-based name, such as I was thinking recipes or something like that. You have your recipe mixer here, But that's something I still need to figure out, how exactly I will frame this in the final app. But right now it's just decorations. And it's all of what you see here. A decoration, like if we consider its data structure, is just a list of styles. And the styles are this individual thing. So you can see it's one layer of the evolution of text, but it has many things on it, which is this. We start with fish, and then we go to dinosaurs, and then we go to bugs, and the bugs turn into butterflies, and they are all in flashlights for some reason, because we like technology, and flashlight is definitely a piece of technology that humans made. So yeah, this is the decoration editors, and then how I would imagine coding on a canvas. I think a bit like the Drift VM demo that I showed. Here you can see there is no, okay, this is not really like it actually. So I was thinking about different ways of writing code for not only in the context of this canvas-based UIs, but also in the context of how you navigate code, because let's say you have some code and what you can do with it is you can go to definition of, if you have like a good type system, you can go to definition of something and you can look for stuff about how something works. So if you go to this method, from here you can go to another method. But when you do all of this, you sort of lose the trail. There's no clear trail behind where exactly did you go. If we consider this browser extension that's called TreeStyle tab for Firefox, what it does is whenever you open a tab from the active one, it creates this child node of this tab. So it sort of forms a hierarchy of where the user of the browser navigated. And for example, this two are sibling tabs, and from here I can make like a child tab because I go to a link from the Chrome Web Store. In the Chrome Web Store, there's this sort of relationship. So one thing I was thinking about is why don't we have this for editing code? Why, when you go to definition, there is nothing that visualizes a trail? But then I've learned that JetBrains, the company which makes editors for, like code editors for corporations, proprietary ones as well, primarily, they have made this. They have also thought of it, apparently, that you can visualize this trail of where people go in the code, and maybe that's somewhat helpful to the process of discovery of a code base or remembering. I don't know. It's a more intuitive way of navigating code, I think. But it's just one part. It's just the part about going to definitions. You can also think about, okay, I have a class, it has some methods. Where exactly are these methods used? For example, there is a mutate method. I see there is 27 references to it. So that's quite some references. You cannot put them in one file, probably. I mean, you can technically, but you're probably not going to do it. And you cannot read all of them and keep it in your head at the same time. But you can imagine if you said, I am right now in this layer decoration file, which has a mutate function. What I want is just spawn a bunch of editors of all the places that call this function next to this on some canvas UI. Like if we take a look at what DriftVM was doing, you can imagine like there is this code, there's some piece of code editor here. It's something like VS Code or I don't know what, Z maybe. But next to it, you could have many more like this, and they could be contextually connected to whatever code you're browsing. And yeah, you could also manually arrange code in Canvas. Is that answering your question in some way? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but I'm definitely interested in code editors like this. So if you want to make one, let me know. Yes. Any other questions? Maybe not about code.
Yeah, I think we're a bit out of time, but maybe there's one last question. Anyone? There's a question for Arshak? Yeah. Let me bring you the microphone.
Okay.
Because I was thinking this is also kind of like how Touch Designer and Max work, right? Like Touch Designer has this zoom in feature also, where you can go inside the object and code and then scroll out. And I think Max, as a visual programming language, has already very much this tree structure, because you can see which nodes are connected to what nodes, and then you can go inside and then you can see how those branch off. But I mean, it does miss a bit this contextual thing where you can see, like, I'm here, where is it connect? Oh, where does it connect to in other parts of the code? But it has this overlap or something. But very interesting. I was thinking, would be interesting if you can zoom in on a function and then you can see the the code of that function.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that would be fun indeed.
Like if I make a class and then if I create an instance of that class and I zoom into the name of that class, I see the class.
What you could do is on top of a function name, add a bunch of buttons that would show different things about this function, and add it right there. Yeah, I have seen indeed some of Max, and it is on the Canvas UI, which looks also really cool. Also, both the UIs that people make with them and just how you make UIs looked pretty interesting. But Touch Designer I've never tried, so I don't know how that looks like. But
sorry. And Max also has this idea where you can put in little code boxes in different places and then still connect them, and then you can go back to. Anyway, just it could be interesting to look at.
Yeah, indeed, I will check it out even more so now. I think indeed a bunch of this graphical programming environments are a bit more like that. So even pure data, you could say you organize stuff on a canvas. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thanks everyone for.
Okay, last one. Yeah. Sorry. Last one. I know that also Alex McLean made a version of Tidal Cycles where you can also kind of code it as if it's Max, so you can put words and then you can connect words to other words, and then it's called Textures, I think. Which is super funny because I'm wearing a T-shirt from a band also named Textures, but that's a nice coincidence. I think maybe you need to search Tidal Cycles because these words are too.
Collections. Is Tidal a popular word? I didn't know.
I have a paper on it. I can search for that.
Yeah, maybe if you can share, that would be great.
Let's do a break, I think.
Yeah.
And then, Wouter, you want to show something? Or do you want to go? No, I'm going to skip my presentation because we're a little bit short of time. So, but you wanted to show something? Yes? Okay, short demo. Johan, you also want to show something? Or can you make it a short one? So then we have a quick break now, and we're going to have 2 short presentations. I put here on the screen also for our friend Wilbert, who's hopefully watching the stream now. Who knows? This is in Eindhoven. There's going to be a meetup on the 30th. This is in Balton Laboratories. So for you guys in the east of the Netherlands, maybe interested in this, and also for us, I'll try to be there myself. Anyone has any comments or questions before we go into the break? No?
Yes,
all right.
Thank you for the cable.
Welcome. Okay, we go to a break. Signal maybe? That was great. That's great. Nothing happened.
Because I can reference
Why everything died? You changed the volume?
still reference like a definition of something or like a thought
You have
that
a
I
weird,
had like a year ago.
Huh?
And I can also put text.
Weird.
For example, I have like an object.
This is going on the screen, fortunately. Yeah, this is work. Probably because it's small. And then it works. Yeah. And then you get a LTE scan problems. These headphones.
Again, I have.
I think I'm gonna just leave this thing run. So yeah, so that's
Yeah.
now I can
Yeah,
really
but
do
it's also proprietary.
the variables with the realize that I can just right, so they're like a template that you continue. Yeah. So this thing, like I don't know, like for example here I just said truck whatever, you know, like it's a really simple thing. But then for the performance we can do something more complex. And then I can go down to I have like a mix here where I can, you know, like even this thing. Okay, it's going back. But then I could also just, you know, this mix instead of like making it like directly from the up, like make this a constant and then call it somewhere else. You could have masters and like
right. So it's like a
some fractal kind of sound scenography that is unbelievable. So then that allows me also to, when I use variables, just control this large chunks of information, including like temporal information, like but also effects and synchronize delays and all kinds of things that I can also do with data cycles when it's complicated. So this is great. Plus I make an extra, you know, like indentation sucks, but it runs because it's JavaScript. So it still does it. But of course it has limits, and when I push it really far, then it goes a little bit crazy. Yeah, it crashes. But okay, overall, this good page reminds me of systems.
yeah, that also has the
I don't know it. Tell me about it. Build
at some point you don't remember what the sounds were.
Yeah. This is what's happening.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a blessing and a curse.
Now I know what's happening, I think. Sorry guys, excuse me. Here. Right. Okay, we're coming back. Gonna be 2 short presentations from Wouter first, and then Johan's gonna show something, and then we're gonna do jams after that. So stick around.
Microphone check 1 2 1 2 1 2, and we're on. No, are we on? Is this live?
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is live. I love live. Yeah. Fuck yeah, live coding. Okay. Okay, thanks for coming to my TED talk. I mean, my RLCC talk. My name's Wouter. I build platforms for artists or V2 or other cultural institutes or the universities, whatever. And 2 years ago, I started building WordVerse XR, which started out as a plugin for WordPress to build your own metaverse, I guess. And then I came up with this name. It's a little plugin that you throw into WordPress, and then you get a collaborative XR creation environment, which features real-time collaboration. It's like no code. It's creating scenes in XR, VR, AR, MR, and somebody interrupt me if I'm just losing you with all these abbreviations. Good, moving on. So the gist of it is that I wanted to be able to have people collaborate online creating these 3D environments. There's this guy called Mark, and he has this really big website and a bunch of apps, and he's all about that metaverse, but he also wants to take all our privacy and our data. So I thought, no, the web should be open and you should be able to have your own 3D stuff. And I built this on open source web stuff. This is just a stupid promo page that I should really update at some point. So I've been working with some artists with this. There is the Soundscape Orchestra, which I should be able to type properly. I think it's .com, might be .org, I forget. And that features like a little VR scene that fortunately loads fast today, I hope. Which features like the most beta version of this platform, where it also does some MIDI signal processing. And you can also do this in your VR goggles if you have some. I think I'm just gonna press start. It has some audio, but I forgot to plug in, and that's fine. So this is a 3D scan of a giant room, and there's these objects, and you see them light up, because these are lights that also have a little bell in them, and as they move around, it also makes a little sound of the recording in that space. Because this artist, he places all these objects in the space that he triggers using DMX and MIDI. The artist is Daniel Malman, for those in the know. And all these objects basically have motorizations in them that react to his Ableton code. And what he does, he puts those objects in a abandoned space. And in that space, he composes music to enhance the feel of that space, or as a reflection of that space. But of course, those projects last a few days. They're generally in abandoned buildings that will be torn down, repurposed, whatever. But this is very ephemeral. It just goes away. So XR was a way for us to allow people to still experience them later. And that was the first prototype for this XR platform. And 2 years ago, I collaborated with V2's Realities in Transition program to see if we could have a collaborative environment for artists to work together in, which by now has evolved a little into this platform, where you can have like VR scenes. For instance, this is something that I have built for an artist called Daniel Simo, who does juggling and builds robots to juggle with. And for him, we use this environment to, he has a cobot arm, which is a specific type of robot. You've all seen these painting robots of the 80s that do like spot painting of cars, for instance. Like these giant production lines with these robots like 3 meters tall, 5 meter long arm, and they do this repetitional thing. So now, roughly 40 years later, you can buy these robots in like a smaller form factor for like, what is it? A couple of €1,000, and you can have them pick fruit or paint stuff or do like manual tasks. You train them a little using a little training way, and then they can do your movements for you, and you can teach them simple things. But for this show, we wanted to see if a robot can have like artistic styles or be a performer. So one of the things of the demos that we built for this show is that you can move the robot arm, and the robot arm moves this camera in this virtual space, and you can do like 3D PowerPoint, which is kind of fun. Of course, I didn't bring the robot to demo that, but I've got a video somewhere. Let me quickly look at that time though. Wait, you know what? Google Daniel Simu, Cobot Show, or Robot Arm Etude, and you'll find this. Because I just want to quickly demo that we can work together here. And then we're gonna do some crazy texture stuff. Unfortunately, I don't have a coding environment in this, or like emoji soups, super wackiness, but I wrote such a dumb texturing system that it's also gonna run into like these weird connection or collaborations. So we're seeing my one screen, which is my player one, and now we're connecting with another one because we're gonna collaborate a little. So here I am with my other thing. Let me quickly move this one around so there goes a little signal over here. So here, this is me, and this is the other me. And we're gonna quickly change this texture on this plane here and say, hey, look, I don't want this picture, I want a crazier picture of, I don't know, let's see. I got a picture of a 3D glasses thing from 1800 something, because at the time of development of photography, they were also experimenting with all these different things like stereo photography. So here we have, oh shit, my image is over it in the preview. Oh no, wait, I just scroll down a little. I don't know, shit, I think, yeah, there we are. So now it's sent the update that I did on my other thing on the floor here, and we can see this other image that test user put there. Of course, test user can do all kinds of things, not just manipulate the images. You can, of course, move these things around, and they will move around on the other screen. We've tested this with like 12 people at a time, and it uses a signal processing system called MQTT, and we sent that over WebSockets using a little server, and it uses sockets to quickly communicate and send that all around. And over those, the MQTT protocol, you can just abstract like MIDI or DMAX or OSC, and then send that over the web super fast, because this is an old protocol developed by ABN in the 80s, then it was redeveloped for the web after they open sourced it in the 90s, and now you've got this really fast signal thing. We also used it for some stuff in the Mirage show we created with a bunch of people here in November. And yeah, so this is what I've been working on lately. It was supported by the Stimulating Fonds, and I would love to hear some input on some things. Because right now I just have these weird flying cameras, but actually this would work on any device with a browser. You can also use this environment in your 3D glasses, like if you have an Oculus or an Index that would run a browser with 3D capabilities, you can just use this and do these things. But the thing I'm struggling with right now is, hey, I want you to be able to identify what kind of affordances the device has that this other person is working with, because it's a lot harder for somebody in 3D to just follow you around as you fly in this 3D environment on your desktop, and somebody else is using their phone that sort of has this pointy interface by using the phone to move in the VR space. And you should be able to anticipate that a little. But I have a hard time visualizing that. Should that just be a human avatar holding a thing or wearing a thing? Right now I chose to just have cameras that point in a certain way, so you at least know where somebody's watching. But yeah, it's just a camera. It doesn't, this is like the weirdest device to choose. So these are things I'm sort of struggling with. So if anybody in this group has any ideas, that would be super awesome. And I just wanted to say that this is the authoring environment, but there's also a player environment where you can do like custom code on top. It's written in 3JS, but I also have a Unity version that you could code in. I'm still working with someone to also make like an Unreal player, so you can do it at whatever fidelity or rendering speed you need, because this project is mostly about the metadata structure that comes out of this that you can consume. And I think people on the web have been failing at that for a while, because in the 90s we had VRML, the virtual reality markup language, that sort of parallel HTML. And then after that came CSS3D as this attempt to do 3D for the web right. And now we have WebGL, which is kind of fancy because it grew out of the OpenGL standard and is sort of advised by the Kronos group and then in collaboration with the W3C as a standard that we can all use instead of Meta's 3D way of doing things or Unreal or Unity's way of doing things. So yeah, I'm now at the point that I have like really nice 3D interfacing and I have like multiplayer stuff for editing, but like I know how a Google Doc works. I've worked in Figma, but what kind of stuff would you do in 3D and how would you visualize your collaborators in 3D? Like in Google Docs, they're all carrots with a name, but then in Figma, they're all mouse pointer with a name, but we don't really have an interface jiggly thing for 3D. Give that man a mic. I want to hear what he has to say.
Let the people design their own 3D avatar, maybe?
That sounds quite hard, yes.
Somebody proposes scan themselves. Here, Rick. But maybe let's keep this in like maybe one.
Let's time box it on like 3 answers, and then we move to Johan's talk.
Yeah, I said scan yourself, make yourself an avatar with your phone, but it was not really so serious.
I think that's an interesting proposition.
To somebody else? Yes. Yeah.
I think the one question about realizing where to locate the other collaborator is, it's easy if you're also on the web, but let's say I'm having my own VR glasses or I'm having my phone, then in reality I'm still walking on the surface. So how do you put me as a people with VR glasses in the 3D place? Because should I just keep on jumping to go to another level? So yeah, I think that's something to think about, because in Google Docs it's just 2D. Basically, you're on this like little sail, you just move over. But for people in 3D, especially if you're having actual people with VR glasses, that is a question I'm thinking about, how to realizing it.
I have some insights, but this is indeed a tricky question when people are actually physically bound to like the physical space, but their head is in the VR thing. How do you simulate moving across heights? In the final outcome art piece that the artist created in Reality Transition, they used this rotating step. So people could actually walk around physically in one place, but traverse on the z-axis. But that, of course, is not ideal when you want to do an editing environment. So what you would do, or at least what currently is what I'm doing, is you just allow people wearing VR headset to fly and fly through things to get to places. But that's very disorienting. There's a lot of experience study there to do.
Yeah, that's a totally new ability to humankind, like to fly overall.
It's just like a jetpack.
Interesting.
We all get the idea of a jetpack, but then it's really disorienting if you're still standing on your feet. And I once went to a demo in a cave simulator in like 2004, I think. Cave simulators are these stereoscopic projections that are surround. So you have like a projection above and to all sides, and they sort of try and achieve, and then you wear these, I guess 3D cinema glasses are similar with the polarized vision thing. So you have a different thing on each eye. And then we flew up from this virtual square in Brussels, and then our tour guide dropped us. And because you have all your input is saying, look, we're falling, your nervous system says, look, we can stop standing. And then for a second, your legs actually relax, and you're like, wait, no. But that takes a little while for you to be conscious of that. So there is this whole conflict between the virtual space and the reality space that you're in every time. But yeah, that's a thing that I should work on. Thanks.
So I would like to start with a small question of, is the VR aspect of it very important too?
No, the main goal was to make something that's broadly consumable, not just on the creation end, but also have a front end that would work with the same affordances. A big thing I'm actually working on right now is to unify the UI in VR and the desktop and the phone, because the VR UI kit I use is very disparate from the UI elements I use on a 2D desktop, because it's code-wise it's so completely different, because there's no like CSS and buttons from HTML are very standardized. We can use them really easily, but it was all designed for 2D, and even replicating a 2D interface on like a little plane in 3D, that's super hard. And there were some attempts to do that, and then the real thing you want to do is utilize 3D and have 3D buttons or a 3D interface or a panel that at least utilizes the spatialness of having your hands in VR, for instance. And there I now use some things where you have actually a VR button where you press it, it goes down a little, and that's super skeuomorphic, to use a term that might be weird to some people.
It feels actually as if you're pressing something with skeuomorphism, but yeah, it does make sense. It's pretty cool that you can feel that you press it.
Well, this loops back a little about your little segue into the original Xerox desktop design that Microsoft and Apple split off.
Okay, I have some stuff. So a couple of things is, have you played Garry's Mod? Because
I have.
Okay, in a way this feels a bit similar, but also I have had this idea which I decided to not pursue. Of creating this sort of worlds, because there are actually quite some video games where you make this like Second Life-like environment, and you can build buildings. I don't know, you can do all this kind of crazy stuff. But I was thinking about one where you could maybe share art and shape the environment around you. But one of the blockers for me was also like, okay, how do you make this actually intuitive? Because if you expect people to make 3D models, it's not really gonna work outside of like a few dedicated, like there are people who can make 3D models, but it's not everyone who you might want to use this app. So I don't know. It's interesting, but I'm at the same time I'm not sure what you are trying to do fully. Like, are you trying to recreate the world virtually there so people can make the stuffs and?
I'll save you that answer for another time.
Okay.
But the one sentence version of that is, I'm trying to build an environment for storytelling that is up to now largely been utilized for 3D reality simulation by scanning things or having virtualized environments that interact with reality through mediated stuff.
Thank
Stuff
you.
is doing a lot of lifting
Thank
here.
you,
Thanks,
everybody.
guys. Thanks for listening to my little presentation.
Johan is going to contribute to not do this presentation, and then we have a little bit more time for jams. We're going to try to finish earlier. So here we go. Okay. We're gonna have a jam. We're tight with the time. We're gonna do 3 jams. We're setting it up, and we're starting soon. Hang around. Okay, that was Echo and Wouter. And next, coming up, I see Timo and who? And Rick? Me? And me, okay. There we go, Timo.
So 2 days ago, I live coded for almost 7 hours in a row. I cannot see any Hydra for a few days. I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
It was some weird events.
I just thought maybe you were not here when we asked earlier.
No, I got asked. Yeah, I'm sorry.
One moment. Don't punch me in yet.
Later we can.
You can punch me in. You can punch me in.
Well, then you should come to the kickboxing festival again, you know? If you want to punch something.
We can talk about this topic
I
later.
don't want to punch anything. Already.
Let me just check.
Not great stuff to do.
I enjoy it. Did you ever go since or not?
No,
Am I on? I hear you. Is this good level? Because we only have so many hands. Yeah. Okay, I'll get it down a bit.
Well, that's interesting. I'm already starting.
Let's start. Yes? You take the time? We started. Okay, started.
Okay, okay, okay.
you. All right. Thank you. Who's next?
Yeah. Let me start.
Next. Hello. Next is Johan. Who's going to do visuals for Johan? You? Rick and Johan coming up.
Do you have the HDMI as well?
I do. Yeah, and you have one? Yes. Alright. You have the MIDI jack now? Yeah. Can you send me some signal to see that you are on?
It's really nice.
Rick, you're...
Where is it? You see it already? Ah, yeah. What did you do? Wait. Super hydrated there, but I added even something on it. So you're there. Let's do this.
Remember to start the timer when you start.
Yeah. Okay.
You already, Rick? Yeah.
Yeah.
You sure? No, we have you on.
Yeah. No, I will do something now.
Yeah, just to see that we have signal. Yeah, coming through. Can you give me more, little?
So you only type this what you have underneath, no? Or you have something else there? No. You
No, I think it's okay. You can see your editor here, no?
Is this yours?
Yeah.
Is this yours? No.
No, that's me.
This one?
Yes, insert. That's me. Yeah, that one.
This one? Yeah. Okay. Cool.
It's somewhere higher.
Okay. I'll get it. Here.
No,
What?
It's scaled. You need to scale
No.
up.
It's
it's there. Yeah, there you go. Okay, cool. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Let's move. Yep.
Nice. This is
You're on, no? Yeah.
yeah.
I see you're right. Sorry. I forgot your code was on this. Excuse me. Super glider.
Takes a bit.
Okay, we're over time again. We did it, and now we are wrapping up. So thank you everybody online and in the space for joining us and our crazy adventures of live coding. Next one in July. Nobody ever checks the date before, nor did I. So it's the first week of July. We mentioned events coming up on the 11th and on the 30th. 6th of July, says Johan, so that's very likely. We will explain. We will say more about this later on. We have a performance with Rick next Friday, coming Friday. So thank you very much. We're wrapping it up. Thank you.